Michigan's rock station, Q106.
Hey, I'm Q106's Terry Stevens. Capital City Comic-Con is coming back to the Lansing Center in downtown Lansing, June 30th through July 2nd. Once again, it has a star-studded lineup of geek culture celebrities. We're going to be talking to them in the weeks leading up to the big show. Our guest this time around, he's been the voice of some of your favorite characters from Yu-Gi-Oh! And Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Wayne Grayson. Q106, what's your name? Where are you from?
Hey, this is Wayne Grayson in New York City.
Wayne Grayson, we are finally connected, man. Terry Stevens.
We did it. Hi, Terry. I didn't oversleep, and I didn't ignore you to go see Spider-Man like last week. I'm here. And ready to go.
No worries. Well, I'm glad you brought up Spider-Man. My son and I went to see Across the Spider-Verse, and we're sitting there, and we got to see the Song of the Cinema's People with all the commercials, and I'm like, I did buy a ticket. I already paid for this. You don't need to advertise to me. But then the preview started, and I saw a preview for a new TMNT movie, and I'm like, wait a minute, that Michelangelo doesn't sound like my Michelangelo. My Michelangelo sounds like Wayne Grayson, damn it.
You're darn right. That's not me. As a matter of fact, I went and took my kids to see Flash, and they had the same situation where he was watching it, and so the trailer, he cut his eyes over to me, and I just gave him that shake. Not me, son.
With the success that the Spider folk have seen with Across the Spider-Verse, it's only a matter of time until there's an Across the Turtleverse where all the different TMNT, right?
I'm down. I tell you, man, I've heard there's some buzz in the fandom about this Turtles Last Ronin video game that's coming out soon, and there's like some fervor to get my cast back to do the voices for the video game because Mikey factors in so crucially in that storyline, and people seem to like that voice, and I love that storyline. So if they do it, anyone's listening to this that has any pull with a video game company that's doing Last Ronin, I am down.
Hells yeah. Let's make it. Well, and you've got quite the resume. Obviously, Michelangelo, Joey Wheeler from Yu-Gi-Oh!, Lance from one of the Pokemon series, and then just a slew of video games. You even passed muster for Rockstar, man, and they were very fastidious about their voiceovers.
Very, very picky indeed. Yeah. I was happy with that.
All right, so Across the Turtleverse, let's make it happen.
I'm in.
Sick. So, Wayne, this is your second year in a row at Capital City Comic-Con. What was your favorite thing that you did last year when you were in Lansing?
Oh, God, my favorite thing? Well, in Lansing itself, me and my other Yu-Gi-Oh! Compatriots, Megan Hollingsworth was there, Ted Lewis and Greg Abbey. We got to spend some time together, which we hadn't done as a group in a really long time, and we were able to, take this massive walk. It was a really, really pleasant day. We found this awesome restaurant about maybe a mile and a half from the venue, and we just sat down and just spent our per diem. It was just great to spend time with my friends.
Excellent.
That was my favorite part.
And Greg was kind of grousing a bit that he didn't get to go to a ball game when he was here. Are you going to take him out to the ball game this year?
No. Because the thing is that you may not know this about the Yu-Gi-Oh! Contingent is that we all have our geek proclivities. I'm a big comic book guy. Ted is a big cinephile. Greg is the sports nerd, and we don't really have the cross pollination of the nerdness. We have our own things, and ne'er the twain shall meet.
Gotcha.
So he can go to a game on his own. I'm not going to go to that.
It's so much. It's just guys running around in circles, and it's like, it's
not even a proper circle. There's angles. There's sharp angles, and there's sand involved, and crotch grabbing, and then spitting.
That's a real specialty gig right there, man. Real specialty gig. Now, you are the comic book guy of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Contingent. So, what were your favorite titles when you first discovered comics?
This may surprise you. X-Men.
Wow.
This may surprise you even more. Batman. I was a big Batman fan. No, X-Men was always my favorite as a kid, and I really got along. I had an affinity, and I felt the kinship to Wolverine. Before this was back when I was a kid. When you kids get off my lawn kind of business here. But when I was a kid, when he first before he really blew up, and he was just he didn't have 17 titles to himself. He was a short, scrappy guy that was always getting picked on, but he was badass. That's how I felt. And Wolverine and then the whole X-Men philosophy really spoke to me as a kid. Now, of course, it's diluted and there's a billion titles and it's kind of mainstream. But, hey, it's enduring. And X-Men was a favorite. I was a big Marvel guy as a kid. And then as time went on, I got more into the DC stuff. When Watchmen came out and Dark Knight Returns and all the Sandman and Preacher and Starman is amazing. But yeah, I mean, I'm a huge comic fan. I will talk forever about this, but you don't have that kind of time.
You just listed so many titles from the Game-Inverse. So they do an animated version of one of his titles. What role would you love to have on that?
Animated role from one of his titles. Okay, well, we got to go Sandman. It's kind of on the nose, but I would do Merv Pumpkinhead. Raven, Matthew the Raven would be great, but they're voiced right now in the live action show by amazing voice actors Patton Oswalt and Mark Hamill, so not much chance of me getting those jobs. I tend to do like a lot of crazy creatures and offbeat guys. I like to play humans every now and then, so maybe I would do like, as human as he could be, Dr. D, John D would be great. I would love to do Hop Gadling. That would be a great character to play. Yeah. I mean, just so many rich characters in there. You can't make me limit it.
Right. We got to dial it back to X-Men real quick. Which X-Man would you love to tackle?
Oh, Wolverine, baby. Yeah.
Straightforward. Okay. You'll have to get a little Canadian into the accent. There we go.
I would do the accent. No one's done the accent in the animated series, right? He's never talked about anything.
He just always sounds gruff and gritty and never really Canadian. You never hear Wolverine say a boot. You never see that.
I was going to say, he never says what he's really thinking about.
Right. And you mentioned Batman. Now, obviously, the Bat. You're going to have to fight with Michael Keaton, I guess, this year for that one. But of his rogues gallery, which Batman baddie would you love to take on?
Oh, the Batman baddies. Who would I like to take on? Well, let's see, because there've been so many different interpretations now that it's hard to pick what I would try to either ape or just deliberately not do. I mean, especially with the departures they've taken in the Harley Quinn series with Clayface, with Alan Tudyk is doing that. It's freaking funny as hell. He's a great Joker as well. I want to do something that no one's done before in an animated series. They did the ventriloquist, but Mr. Zaz would be good. I'd like to do that. Again, going back to being a human. Mad Hatter would be great. Tip of the, if I may, hat, pardon the pun, to Roddy McDowall and his interpretation. I would love to take on that character. Just someone under the wire would be great.
Hell yeah.
Someone that not everybody knows,
So, Wayne, with all these varied roles that you have, I mean, what's your warm-up routine when you go to take on one of these roles?
Well, it depends on the role, I guess. But, I mean, I don't really do a lot of warming up because a lot of my guys sound world-weary and gruff and kind of gravelly anyway. I mean, I'll make sure that I'm not sick when I walk in the booth. But, people have done that. I'm not going to name names, Greg Abbey. But I make sure you have a lot of water going on. You have your throat's clear. You're focused. You're not sleepy. You had a good night's sleep rest and everything. A good night's rest, and you're ready to work. And my pet peeve, being late. So I make sure I get there on time. Or if I'm working remotely, get everything set up a good half hour in advance. So I'm ready to go, man. Don't have to putz around with minutia.
Heck yeah, there you go. Wayne, I got one more for you. Now, with the advent of services like Fiverr and Voices, it's like everybody and their mother has a microphone connected to their computer. They're like, I could be a voice person. And so from someone who actually does this professionally, what are your pro tips for actually being able to make a living at this?
It's funny. I just came back from a convention in Florida this weekend, and I was asked that question several times. So I'm prepared. For your question. The thing is, like you said, anybody can have access to this technology and the software, but and anyone can do a goofy voice. Anyone can do a goofy voice. That's not a hard thing to do. But the problem is you've got to put something behind it. You can't just do the funny voice. You've got to have the acting chops behind it to make these characters, to fully realize them, because they are developed characters. Someone spent time writing them, directing them, designing them. So you need to infuse it with as much character and as much personality as you can using just your voice. So I would say, when you're out and about, listen to other people talk. Listen to rhythms of other people talking, because that can inform you to create your own characters. A lot of times people will come up to me at conventions and do a Stewie impression from Family Guy or Homer from The Simpsons, and they say, yeah, I want to be a voice actor. And that's great. You got those two impressions. Those two jobs are taken. Get some new stuff, man.
Right.
Beef up your repertoire so make yourself castable. Be as diverse as you can. I hear a lot from people that they're surprised they do the voice of Mikey and Joey and Cyrus from Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. They're three very different characters. And if that's the name of the game, my friend, you've got to be able to be diverse and pull these voices out of nowhere. And, listen to people, take your speech classes, acting is key. It's voice acting, not voice shouting or voice saying, you know?
Right. If you're going to do that, you may as well just be a radio guy. Just say dumb stuff into a microphone, hope people find you charming. Awesome.
I find you very charming. You're doing great.
Thank you, Wade. I appreciate that. Well, Wayne, dude, we are looking forward to hanging with you and the rest of the crew this weekend, man, June 30th through July 2nd, Lansing Center, downtown Lansing, Capital City Comic-Con. Dude, let's see if we can get some karaoke together at the after party. I'm thinking we need to hear the Turtles doing Come On Eileen or something.
Into it. You know what? Greg and I sometimes will improv sad, depressed, drunk turtles singing the Turtle theme song. Turtles counted up, mutant chain reaction, living on the ground. You get to action, show town. Yeah, I'm in.
All right, I love it. Wayne, you enjoy the rest of your day, man. Be well. We'll see you this weekend.
Thanks, man.
Later,
Take
buddy.
care.
Michigan's rock station, Q106.